Hello and welcome to another episode of Diplo Strats. I'm your host, CaptainMeme. I'm here once again with Ezio. Hi, Ezio.
Hello, hello.
Except, I just lied to you. I'm not in fact here with Ezio, unfortunately. I was here with Ezio last night, and we commentated this game that you're seeing right now. Unfortunately, because I am a moron, I recorded Ezio's audio track twice instead of my own. So if you want to watch that, you'd just be listening to Ezio talking to himself. I have resolved to fix that by adding in my own commentary in post. It's fine. I know for a fact that Ezio doesn't rewatch most of these commentaries back, so as long as you all act completely natural in the comments and don't mention anything about this, I think I'll be able to get away with it. So with that in mind, Ezio, are you ready to begin the commentary?
Yeah, let's just go, dude. What the fuck is this?
That's a great question. This is Mystery of Monjogo. It is a Fog of War variant similar to Discovery of Ecos, and it's actually run by two of the same GMs from Discovery of Ecos. So, The Last Firebender and Sarfed. It works in the same kind of way. Armies can see adjacent provinces that are land, fleets can see adjacent coastal and sea provinces, and you discover the map as you go, right? We don't know our win condition in year 1, exactly the same as Discovery of Ecos. We will find it out after the first year.
First question, do we have any powers?
No, we don't have powers. That is one of the big differences between this one and Discovery of Ecos. Obviously, in Discovery of Ecos, everyone had their own separate independent power. In this game, we're just playing normal diplomacy. And as you can see, in this game, I start on one supply center, which is incredibly nerve-wracking in a Fog of War game, because I can lose that supply center at any time, right? My official name in this game is the most Florid and Verdant city of Tagghisl, but throughout the game I just called myself Tag because, I mean, that's much easier to remember.
Well, that's great. What a position. I guess we TYRR because that has the highest chance to find a dot.
Yeah, that was exactly my thinking too. Go to TRR, that's much more likely to have dots adjacent. HHL and THP probably have fewer land provinces next to them. But something that I'm really worried about, and this is something that I can do absolutely nothing about, is that I'm on the coastline here, right? And I have an army. I can't see enemy fleets that are going to come adjacent and just walk into tag potentially.
I assumed we were at the edge of the map, actually. That's great. Oh, wonderful. Well, it's probably fine. I mean, it's better than, actually, is it better than having a boat? I don't know. We don't know how many sea provinces. You might border 5 sea provinces.
I mean, so we're assuming that this works off the same rules as Discovery of Ecos, and in Discovery of Ecos, the sides of the map were all perfectly straight. Which this map, of course, we see these indents here, and these indents kind of make me think that's not the edge of the map, that is actually a sea province that I can't see. In any case, it's still probably better than a boat. I mean, we're going inland, right? And land provinces have more SCs. I mean, you can't have an SC in the sea.
Yeah, but like I mean, given that we don't see a supply center here, right? Do you think it's more likely that that TYRR touches versus the boat? Maybe. I don't know. Either way, let's see what happens. Let's play roulette. Let's see. Come on.
Alright, well, before we advance, I do have to add a couple of special rules in this variant. As I previously mentioned, there are separate win conditions for each player. They do not appear until the end of year 1, so we won't find them out just yet. Other things that exist, there are diplomacy points in this variant. Ezio, have you ever played with diplomacy points?
Technically, yes.
Technically?
I mean, I got eliminated in the first phase.
Alright, well, I can explain them for our viewers as well. Diplomacy points are points that you spend to influence other nations. So in this game, there are things called city-states. They are non-player factions, and you can spend diplomacy points on them in order to make them do an order that you want them to do. So for example, you get a certain amount of diplomacy points to spend. In this game, it's equal to the number of supply centers you have, so right now I would have 1. And if I commit the most diplomacy points out of everyone to that specific order, well, to that specific unit, then it will carry out the order that I gave it. So that can be really helpful. We'll have to see when we get there. The other thing that is present in this game are barbarians. So these are also non-player factions. They are all varying shades of red, and they run under an algorithm, which I think the mods thought would be a bit simpler than it actually was. It's actually really hard to write an algorithm that works well for diplomacy units.
I mean, if that one's a good algorithm, yeah. But my algorithm, they're going to move to the next province alphabetically.
What, no SCs or anything?
Priority to dots, of course. Supply centers first, then not supply centers.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. They did try and go a little bit more in depth on these ones. Anyway, let's go ahead and move to the move map. So I do go to TRR, as you can see. And then if we go to the next phase, I have spotted the first barbarian. Right here in POT.
Can you spend the points on the barbarians?
That is a really good question, because obviously if I was able to spend diplomacy points on the barbarians, I would order this to somewhere where it's not going to interfere with me, right? Unfortunately, you cannot spend diplomacy points on the barbarians.
Well, let's hope barbarians suck and we can walk into Bree.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping that they don't walk into Bree. I'm expecting that they probably will, because I've got to assume that the algorithm prioritizes going into SCs in the fall phases, right? But hey, there's not a lot I can do about that. I was considering whether I should go into POT instead, if I'm 100% sure they're going for Bree, because then I can potentially, you know, get a bit more sight and potentially get sight on wherever they come from, which is presumably also an SC. But, I mean, going for the dot is probably better, right?
Yeah, right? Like, worst to go for the dot, right? Worst case is you don't get it, but, like, if you don't go for the dot, you're never getting it, so...
Yeah, I am extremely worried about a no-build start here, of course, because I only have that one supply center, and if I lose that, I am just dead. And there are a bunch of provinces I can't see adjacent, so I won't necessarily know to defend it, but there's nothing I can really do about that, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But, like, if we don't go for the dot, then we don't get the build anyway. It's like... And I'm not going to cover tag, because that's not going to get me anywhere. So, no, I take that dot.
Yeah, I agree completely. We need to go for the dot. Alright, so let's go ahead and move to the moves here. And you can see I do go to Bree. And actually, you can see on the move map here a little bit of the arrow that the mods forgot to remove. So in this variant, unlike in Discovery of Ecos, you have to be able to see both the province and the target province in order to know what a unit is doing. So I shouldn't be able to see what this pot unit does. But they left a bit of that arrow on because obviously they're making a bunch of these maps. It's easy to miss something like that. So
Yeah, it's fine. It didn't go here, so we get a build. This is amazing.
But yeah, that's the great thing. We get the build out of Bree, we can build at home. Perfection. So we move forward here, and we see their homeland here, and another open dot.
Got it. That's sweet.
What would you build in Tag in this situation?
Army. I see 3 dots very close together. Bree is my new home. Is there coring in this? Like, is Bree my core now?
No, there is no coring in this variant. You can only build in your home supply center.
You can't have a chaos game with no coring.
I mean, you're not
or
wrong.
like build anywhere. Build anywhere is fine, but there's no coring.
I mean, we don't know what the map looks like, for one. It might be that everyone starts on one supply center, so it's an equal playing field.
You can't, like,
right?
You can't have a variant where you have one supply center power zoning around if they're only ever going to be able to build in one supply center. That's just too rough.
Yeah, I mean, also the victory conditions might balance things out a little bit. Speaking of which, on this phase, I do learn my victory condition, because of course it is the winter phase after the first year. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Alright, so I have 3 victory conditions. Let me just go and find them. I have to achieve all of these. So, let me just go ahead and read this whole thing out. Tagghisl win condition. the most florid and verdant city of Tagghisl has always been home to some of the most inquisitive adventurers of the old cities. Now that the other cities have gone silent, it's our solemn duty to once more venture forth into the world and attempt to discover the answer to the mystery of Monjogo, which has been kept from us for so long. Okay, so victory condition number 1. Own your starting supply center. That should be fairly easy. We kind of need to do that anyway, so I'm definitely going to prioritize that.
That's good.
Victory condition number 2. Own 10 supply centers. Not necessarily the easiest when you start from 1, but it's not a massive number. I think, given that we can already see 4, I think that's fully possible.
Yeah, sure.
And victory condition number 3. Discover the answer to the mystery of Monjogo.
What? Oh, God.
So yeah, we are going to have to solve this riddle, essentially, in order to win the game. We don't even know what the riddle is right now. We do get bits of lore throughout the game that might be helpful, but for now, I have absolutely no clue what that means, so we'll just focus on the board part of it.
I don't want to read lore, CaptainMeme. Is there a splash down on the map that's called the Mystery of Monjogo that we can find and then take? And that's solving the mystery?
That's a good thought. Obviously not that we can see right now. Actually, my initial instinct was that this had something to do with the board, and because it was over a time that we were looking at the variant contest and getting a lot of those submissions of the classic board being warped into different styles, but still having the same adjacencies, my immediate thought was maybe the mystery is that this map is the same as the classic map, right? But looking at it, I don't think that's the case here.
Yeah, this doesn't look like anything on the classic map.
Yeah, there's just too many, provinces here, right?
Yeah, way too many neutrals.
Alright, well, we will have to put aside the mystery of Monjogo for the moment and figure out that later. For now, let's move ahead and see my builds. Alright, so you can see I disregard Ezio's advice and I just go for a fleet in Tag. Maybe it's my paranoid nature, but it just feels like I want to have some vision there so that people don't just walk into my home supply center, right?
Yeah. With armies, I'll be able to retake it.
I mean, if that's the only area we can build in, then we kind of need to have it. Like, if we lose it, that's a huge amount of time of building taken off us, right? Which is horrendous.
I don't disagree, but, I also want to control this, high-density dot area. And, maybe if I take FRC, barbarians will stop building or something. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But hey, I like my little fleet here, and we'll see what it sees as we go forward. Okay, and I go ahead and I see that we're actually only adjacent to one sea province, so the danger isn't as high as if the split had been here or something. But the fleet could still be useful.
Right, so this is why you build armies, because no one's ever going to be there.
Look, I'm not going to get scolded by an Ezio who was here yesterday and not today, so I'm just going to cut out the rest of your criticisms. We, obviously, here we have a bit of a conundrum on what to actually do here. I would love to go for TEW or FRC, right? But this unit can walk in behind me.
Yeah, I would go to FRC here, have the boss kind of do something random and dumb.
I do see that the barbarians went to a non-supply center in the spring in the first year, so I was hoping that they might do the same thing in this phase. We'll see how that turns out. Well, clearly not, right? That's horrific.
Well, here's hoping they walk out. Now we're kind of cooked, right? And this fleet's useless, and yeah, I mean, maybe. The fleet might not be useless. We might get a dot from it, but...
Yeah, we should go ahead to the clean map and see if this spots anything, or maybe if this unit over here spots anything. Okay, so we do actually see a dot over here and another dot over here. This one's undefended. Of course, this one is defended. These are actually different barbarians to this one. But of course, the annoying thing is it's still a unit that's the holding space, right? And so this my fleet can't go directly in necessarily. I can hope that they walk out, but I'm not 100% sure whether they will. I mean, I'll probably do it anyway, because it's the only move that makes sense here, but I'm holding out hope that they might go somewhere else. In any case, from meeting these barbarians, I think it was these barbarians specifically, actually, I do get a lore document. So, Ezio, would you like to hear the lore?
Nope, I'm here for diplomacy board. I'm not here for any mystery and any lore or any of this nonsense. I'm here to see dots, take them.
Alright, well, I will put the lore up on the screen for anyone who wants to pause and read it. It may be helpful in identifying the Mystery of Monjogo, but if you don't want to read through it, there's no problem with just continuing with us for the rest of the commentary. So let's go ahead to the moves here and see what those barbarians do.
Hey, oh, look at them barbarians.
Absolutely beautiful. This unit moving out of Bree for us, which is fantastic. And then if we look to the next phase, we actually see the ASR also moved out. Sorry for the JPEGiness of this photo, by the way. So this is absolutely incredible from the previous turn. I'm very glad that that barbarian algorithm is maybe not the best thing, the best diplomacy AI that's ever been written here.
And it's a shame this isn't built anywhere, dude. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, look, that would be absolutely amazing putting down 2 units. Actually, I should probably double check.
Yeah, if we could build we could build 2 units right now, we could maybe actually start contesting all these barbarians. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, you know, I completely misremembered. This is actually Build Anywhere. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think at the start of the game, I was under the impression that it was not Build Anywhere, and at this point, I submitted, like, 1 build order, and then the mods came to me and said, are you sure you don't want to build in the other province as well? And I'm like, oh, I can do that? Really? Because I kind of just made the assumption that because this one is green and this one is white, this means this is a home supply center, so I can only build in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's probably to indicate that it's your capital because you need it for the objective.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's go through to the winter, and we will see me put down 2 armies this time. I'm gonna follow Ezio's instructions and go army heavy for those supply centers.
Hell yeah. How do we go from here? Oh, well, we can see stuff. We don't have to input moves. That's great.
Yep, we will get a bit more vision going into the next phase, so I will go ahead and reveal that. And we can see another barbarian.
They have another army there? Jeez, they always build.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they have a unit off here exploring somewhere, so it's possible it picked up another supply center. Oh, in fact, actually, this one picked up the TEW supply center, so that's where that build comes from. These barbarians are clearly getting pretty strong.
Wait a second. LSC doesn't see anything.
Yeah. So, this army obviously should be able to see provinces over here, but it sees nothing, and this is not a straight line, which means you have to assume those are sea provinces. So we are on the coast over here now, right?
Yay.
There's not much we can do about that, though. We kind of have to focus on TEW. Alright, so I'm going to ask you a question, Ezio. Where would you go with the TAG unit in this situation?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm not sure about the answer. My instinct is to send it to BRE. Like, that's a dot that we control. We're gonna take TEW this phase. Would be my read. And like I just don't want to have control over that area. And then maybe I'll go from TRR either to POT or POB. Either both of those seems solid. But we know that Red sent an army to the south, and it didn't go back to LSC, so it probably went to its own dot. Like, so there's probably something down there to get. But I wouldn't. I would send it north. Like, I can see dots up there. Let's send units there.
Yeah, there's obvious benefits to, like, revealing more of the map, especially when we haven't met any of the other players yet. We would like to find out where they are so they don't sneak in on us, right? But you're absolutely right that these these SCs are like really, really tempting. And I actually hadn't even considered that. Yeah, the red barbarian went down this way, so there probably is something valuable down that way. Although, of course, the red barbarian may be defending it.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, so let's go ahead to the move phase here.
Wait, you moved into the sea?
Yep, I did move into the sea. I think I wanted to see more stuff, but also I know that the barbarians do weird things sometimes, so I was kind of hoping they might go somewhere else. But of course, this is the phase where they do the right thing, and these ones actually do the right thing as well, right?
Oh, we're so cooked. Oh, we're so cooked, CaptainMeme.
Look, I mean, it's possible they walk back out again. Who knows,
Okay,
right?
I really hope you're right. What do you see in HHL, CaptainMeme? Does your gamble pay off?
So yeah, we now have HHL down here, and it has revealed another barbarian. This is JJR, and this is yet another variety of barbarians. You can see it's a different version of the same red, right?
Yeah, and a fleet that's still in there.
Yep. Yeah, that is still a fleet. And annoyingly, it is going to block me because I don't have a second unit here to take anything. But by meeting these barbarians, I do reveal more of the lore. So again, Ezio doesn't want to hear it, but I will put it up on the screen for anyone who wants to go ahead and read it. If you would like to, feel free to pause the video.
You should. Go pause the video. The GMs put a lot of time into this stuff, and they really care about these sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, there is so much work put into this variant by the GMs, by Firebender and by Sarfed. Lore was a big theme in Discovery VCOS as well. Like, that was based on their D&D world, and you could, and there was a lot of flavor text that we kind of missed out in that video. So yeah, feel free to read over the flavor text in this one. We are going to keep looking at the map, because obviously Ezio doesn't care. In any case, I now have met QUR, which is a city-state, right? I can spend diplomacy points on that, finally.
That's great.
Yeah, and that means that I can get support into Yos, so I can actually offset the loss of this supply center. And hopefully even that unit goes somewhere random else and we get the extra supply center here. Right?
Yeah, and notably, if we'd sent this army north up to TRR, we'd have a solid chance of retaking BRE against random moves.
Yeah, I mean, we would have got more if we'd come up north against this. Looking at this now, it was definitely correct to go up north. But who knows, we could have met another player down here or something. It could have been worthwhile.
I also will note that, we haven't seen any of the humans yet. This is year 3, right?
Yeah, it is. We've really discovered quite a lot of the map without seeing anyone else. I am surprised by that. Maybe everyone starts this map quite spread out. If it's a giant map and we start on one supply center, that would make a lot of sense. Alright, so moving on to the retreats. That unit comes off the board. It's disbanded.
That's very interesting. Maybe the barbarians always disband on retreats.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case, right? They always disband because basically all of these retreats were pretty good options for them. It would have been able to coordinate with this unit and going on TEW, which at least pins my unit in, even if it doesn't take.
Yeah, that's very good to know. That's very good to know.
Yep. Alright, well, let's go ahead to the moves here. See what I do. So I do actually get the support into Yos. No one else is spending DP on QUR. I would be surprised if anyone else has discovered QUR, given that is a barbarian province. But there was always a possibility. And yet, discovering some stuff up here, hoping that this unit moves out, or that this unit moves out. We'll see what happens there. Let's just go ahead. And you can see the ASR unit does move out. That's fantastic. Sadly, I don't get JJR, but ASR is a good plus here.
Yeah, and we gained Yas and TEW, right? So we're still +1. So that's fantastic.
Yep, that's right.
And then we saw 2 dots? Wait, I don't think we can see STR.
Oh, yeah. We should not be able to see SDR. We don't have any units adjacent. That was a GM mistake, and as per usual, with these Fog of War maps, everything's being done by hand here, so I think it's pretty reasonable that they might make a mistake here.
Oh, it's on the map, so we can see it. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at all these dots. Wait, does that change things? I think we build an army in LSC now. I think we just schlep all of our units out that way.
Do we only have one build?
Yeah, because we lost BRE.
Oh, right, yeah, we went minus Bree plus ASR, plus TW, right?
We have 5 dots and 4 units.
Okay, so yeah, I think there's some logic to that. Build the unit in LSC.
Yeah, right. If we don't take a dot this year, let's have it double. We can use HHL to come back to TRR, and we can use these 2 units to take Bree.
Yep, absolutely agree.
You know, getting 10 supply centers does not seem that hard anymore.
Does it? I mean, we're already quite a long way there, right? We're 5 supply centers. We're halfway to victory.
Yeah, and we see 10 supply centers on our screen.
Wait, really? Are there 10 supply centers here?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 even.
So taking 10 seems trivial, because we don't need everything, and presumably there are others that we don't see quite yet.
Yeah. Well, in actual fact, it doesn't matter, because on this turn, I successfully guess the Mystery of Monjogo.
What? Okay.
The mystery is about to be revealed. If you do want to take a guess, pause the video and type your answer in a comment below. So, Ezio, what is the Mystery of Monjogo?
You're the only player in the game. Everyone else is a barbarian.
Bang on. Well done. Yeah, that is the answer. I am alone in this game. And if we move on to the next phase, we can see the full map here. I very nearly discovered the wrap, actually. I got all the way to GOP. If I had gone this way, to QET, I would have seen QTP from 2 directions. And I think then that would have absolutely given the game away, because there's no way on a map that small you don't meet anyone for this long, right?
Yeah, I mean, once we saw all of those neutrals, right, year 4, it's like, yeah, this game, there's nobody else here. It's just us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious if you think you would have guessed this by now if you were playing the game?
Probably not, honestly. I just don't think along those lines usually. I would have gone to 10 supply centers and then started doing stuff. Maybe once I get to 10 centers and I haven't seen anyone, it's like, yeah, I'm the only one here. I would have said that. But I don't think I would have just shot that guess out here. I don't know. I suppose there's no penalty for being wrong, right?
Yeah, there's no penalty for guessing wrong, and in fact, I didn't even submit an official guess, right? I just posted in the chat saying, hey mods, is the Mystery of Monjogo that I'm the only player? And they said, yes, well done. And they called the game there because, of course, it's kind of trivial to get to 10 SCs easily, once you know that there's no other players. Right, that's pretty much inevitable with how badly these barbarians were playing.
Sure.
It was... So yeah, this whole thing was a diplomacy practical joke, basically. All played on me. They actually went pretty in-depth with this practical joke. They went and invited a bunch of people from the ImpDip server who they think I might have thought I was playing against to the server. Not because you'd be able to see them in the server itself, because of course... in these Fog of War servers, everything's segmented, so you would only see in the member list the people who can see your own channels, which is you and spectators and the GMs. But just in case, I went through and I checked their profiles for, like, which which servers they were in, which mutual servers they were in with me. Which I didn't do, I should say. I don't cheat like that. But I found it kind of hilarious that they did all that to make sure that I wouldn't figure out I was alone in this game.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of work, but I bet everyone had a great time. Were they all watching you play and commenting on your moves?
Yes, they were. They were all in a secret conspiracy chat talking about about this practical joke that was being played on me.
Well, at least you won.
Yeah. This is my first solo in quite a while, actually.
You soloed the ImpDip game.
That was a while ago. It was quite a while ago now, I think.
I guess it was last year. Jeez. When's the last time I've soloed? I haven't gone for solos as much. Jeez, well done, Captain Meme. Good solo.
Thank you, and yeah, that has been the Mystery of Monjogo. I hope you enjoyed this mini Diplostrats episode. It's probably the shortest episode we've ever done, at least as part of a commentary. And well played, Sarfed and Firebender. You really got me with this one. Alright, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. That's perfectly natural, right? Then nobody tell him.